Hey guys, it's Jack here. We've got the real vlogger style video here. Got the camera like waving around here in front of me. I thought it'd be easy to film this because we're going to be jumping on my computer soon. I'm not going to have this intro too long. All I wanted to say is this video, if you haven't seen from the title, is all about calculating your profit if you want to sell on Amazon FBA here in Australia. It's going to be very quick, very simple, and I'm going to give you a whole Word document that you can download straight from Google Drive, all free. You can just follow along with that, but I'll be going through it in the video as well if you want to follow along, if you want to download it now and follow along with me in the video. Got a whole bunch of links as well. So before I get into it, if you did get value from this video, I'm going to say so now, just subscribe to the channel. It's all free to do, and like the video, it'll help me out a whole ton, it'll help out the channel. I want to keep giving value to you guys through these videos, especially Aussies out there looking to sell on Amazon or get into e-commerce as a whole in Australia. If you do that, that'll really help me out. But apart from that, I'm not going to hold you up any longer. We're going to get straight into this video. I'm going to jump into my computer, so let's get started. Guys, we're going to jump straight into this video. I haven't done a video like this in so long. It feels so good being in front of the computer like this again. I've got my face down on a little corner of the screen here. But this is a Word document I was talking about just before. Now you can download this from the link down below. It's just a Google Drive that I've uploaded for you guys. And you can just download this and follow along if you want, or you can download it after you watch this video. So there's a complete guide. I've got here a complete guide to calculating profit for your products on Amazon Australia FBA in 2020. Now, the reason I've got here Amazon Australia is because it's a little bit different when it comes to importing and GST, so like the taxes that we've got here and the costs. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. So what I'm going to do is go through this as in detail as I can. I don't want to drag it out too long though, so I'll brief over everything, and then we've got an example product that I'll use, an example order that I've calculated everything for, just for you guys to get an idea of what you can look for if you're looking to do Amazon FBA and get some products into Australia and start selling from the Amazon warehouse. So we're going to get straight into it. First thing I've got here is costs to consider. Also, hopefully this microphone quality isn't too bad. I'm just using the actual laptop microphone on the MacBook here, so we'll see how we go. But costs to consider. So obviously, now for this example, you'll see here I've got 100 units that I'm buying, and I'll show you guys that in a second. So just keep that in mind. So costs to consider, we've obviously got the product costs and the shipping. Now this is after we've already found our product. So I'm not going to go into finding a product and looking at suppliers and whatnot. If you want to look at that, I have products like that on my channel. So go ahead and have a look at those videos on my channel. I've filmed them before, so you can go and have a look at those as well if you're not sure how to look for a product, if you're not sure where to look for a supplier. It's been done before on my channel, so you can go and check that out. Should be pretty helpful for you guys. So product costs and shipping, obviously. Then we got to look at things like import duty, 5%, and then also GST. And I've got here only on goods worth over 1,000 AUD, so we'll get into that in a second, because they're the taxes that we're looking at if we're importing products through the Australian border. So there's costs that you got to factor in. If you're selling on Amazon US, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not covering US in this, just Australia for obvious reasons. And then we've got here the FBA referral fee and currency conversion rate, which again we'll go through as well, because we're just trying to factor in all the costs that we can and get as most of an accurate sort of figure as we can, if we're looking at selling a certain product. And I'll show you guys the profit that I've got out of this particular product and what I'd recommend in terms of profit as well. So we're going quite in depth here. So these are the costs to consider. We've got a couple more things to consider at the end of this as well, but for now these are the costs to consider. So these are the steps. Now, I'll see if I can zoom into this. Don't know, can't find it here. That's fine, it should be big enough. But here are the steps here. So, first step, find the cost of a product and shipping for total order value. So, this is after you've found a product, and again, I'll show you guys, and this is using Alibaba. So, I'll show you guys in the example product in a second, but this is Alibaba here. It's just alibaba.com. And this is where I go to, well, myself and my students go to find manufacturers from China to find your product to source for cheap, and then get your logo done. And let's just say, like we said, we're going to order 100 units of this particular product. We're going to get our logo done on the product. We're going to get any packaging or and putting the barcode on the packaging as well. Getting it shipped from the supplier or from a third party source. Getting it shipped from that third party source to Amazon Australia. But this is where we find our suppliers. So Alibaba is a great place. You can also use at a website called DHgate. That's a good place as well. But first things first, find the cost. Get in contact with your supplier. Again, like I said, I've got videos on this channel for that. Find the cost of the product and the shipping that they give you for the total order value. Next thing to do from there, when it comes to Alibaba, DHgate as well, they'll give all your costs in USD. So you got to make sure if you're an Aussie, you got to go through here, and I just use the Google USD to AUD, type in that value. Let's just say, and I'll show you guys in a second. Let's just say they give you, I don't know, $400 for the lot. It's not $400, it's $553 for the actual conversion rate for today. 553.32 in AUD. So you've got to make sure, if you're going to calculate it properly, you need to make sure that you convert it. So that's the second thing as well. Convert total price to AUD. So next thing to consider, is it under $1,000? And that's in regards to conversion rate as well. So let's just say, and again, I'll show you guys the example when I've got the example product down here. So is it under $1,000? Add 5%. So 5% is the import duty. That's going to be on anything. That's going to be whether it's under 1,000, over 1,000. That's the import duty. That's the duty for getting it through the border. It's just the duty fee. GST only occurs if it's over $1,000. Now you can check this out. You can check this out on the, there's an actual government website for that, the Aussie government website. You can check the border website, the Aussie border website as well. They've got more info on that. I'm not sure if I've linked it in here. I don't think I have, but do a bit of research on it as well before you get into this. But all you really need to know is if it's under $1,000, add 5%. If it's over 1,000, you've got to add 15 because you got to add the 5% plus the 10% because it's over $1,000. So figure out whether it's under 1,000 or over 1,000, and that is with conversion. So in this case, what we just did here, 400, it's not 400. It's going by this number here, the converted value. So just make sure whether it's under or over 1,000. Then, once you've figured that out, divide the total cost by the number of units purchased for total cost per unit. So everything all up plus the tax, divide it by, let's just say we're getting 100 units, divide it by that. That'll give you your total cost per unit. Again, we're going to do this in the example. And then number 5, put into Amazon FBA calculate to calculate the fees. An Amazon seller account is needed for that, but you can get the free version of the Amazon seller account, and I'll show you guys what the Amazon revenue calculator looks like, the FBA revenue calculator, and how to use it. I've got the link up now, but you will need a seller account in order to use that. So example product, we're going to just put this down here. So I've got a Derma Roller. Now, Derma Roller, if you guys didn't know, was one of the products I actually sold. Still got some units there in one of the Amazon US warehouses. And I got it there because it was a product that was in demand. A lot of people selling it, very cheap to source, and you could sell it for a higher amount. So I'll show you what it looks like now. This is from the Amazon AU website. And there we go. This one's $17.99 at the moment. So this one's one that's selling quite well, and we're going to aim to sell this at $19.99. Let's just say we're keeping our we've looked at the prices, and we want to aim to sell it at $19.99. We're going to factor that in, okay? But let's just say this is the product that you wanted to go for. Okay, cool. You've looked at the numbers. You've got like a piece of software that helps you find the sales and numbers. You can use eGrow or AlgoPix or something like that to figure out whether it's worth selling. Let's just say we figured that it's worth selling. Now we need to look at the manufacturers and see what we can find for it. So let's say we've gone through Alibaba and we've had someone quote us for 100 units. We've had someone quote us $2.20. But remember, that's in USD. So I went in, and I did this yesterday, so the conversion might be a little bit different, but yesterday, put in the conversion, then it came out to $3.02 AUD per unit. So they said, okay, $2.20 AUD per unit, $302 AUD. That's just for the units. They also said $125 for air shipping, and that's USD. So that came out to $171.74 AUD converted. Again, I converted it to make sure. Then I just added those two together, and we've got 473.74 AUD. Cool. So we've got the product cost. So this is step 1. We've got find the cost of the product and shipping for total order value. This is the total order value, 473.74. But we also need to add. So it's under $1,000, which is good. We don't need to add the 15%. Just need to add 5% for the import duty. So 5% of this, $23.69. Add that on, $497.43. Cool. Now we can find the total cost per unit. So we get the total cost of this. This is the product cost, the shipping, plus the tax, divided by the amount of units you've got. We're getting 100. Cool. So that's $4.97 AUD per unit. Awesome. Okay, so now we use the FBA calculator for FBA fees. And again, I'm trying to get through this as quickly as I can because I don't want to waste your time and dabble on about it, because you can try this out yourself. So we're going to use the FBA calculator here, and I'm going to explain a bit about this. So all we need to do, and the way we do this is we're going to get a product link for reference. So for this particular item, so what we want to sell it for is $19.99. So I'm going to go through these numbers after I put it into the calculator. So we're going to go back to the same thing, this same product here. Now, what you want to do before I show you guys what to copy and paste, this is the fulfillment calculator. And this is the link that I have in the Word document. And again, it says Fulfillment Amazon Revenue Calculator. Now, what you need to do is put in here an ASIN or a keyword. Now, an ASIN is basically just an Amazon barcode or an Amazon product code. So the way we find this is we need to get something to reference our pricing, because you need, like, in order to calculate these Amazon fees, you need to get a product that's either the same, like the same weight or a very similar weight and size, in order to get accurate fees calculated. So we want to sell a Derma Roller, but we need something for reference because we don't have our own Amazon listing just yet. We can go to this one here. Now, what you want to copy in is this BO number here. In between these two slashes here, this whole BO number, that is the ASIN. You want to copy that. There we go. For Mac users, that's Command C, or you can do Control C if you're on Windows. And then go to the fulfillment calculator here, hit enter. There we go. So we're going to search for that. And again, this is the Amazon AU calculator. There's also a US calculator. So this one says .com.au, just make sure you're in that one. Again, I linked it. And then it looks like really overwhelming right now, but we really only need to do one thing, or two. We need to do two costs. And that is the price we want to sell it for and the cost of product. So we already know both of those. We want to sell it for $19.99, like we said. There we go. We don't need to worry about this because we're not worrying about this whole side here. We're not worrying about your fulfillment unless you're fulfilling it yourself. We're worrying about the FBA fees. So we only need to look at the Amazon fulfillment column. So item price, that's what we want to sell it at. $19.99. Again, we go back to the Word document. Cost per unit, $4.97 AUD per unit. So it should be the same fees as what I put in yesterday, but we'll have a look. Cost of product, $4.97. There we go. And again, because it's in .com.au, this is in AUD. So that's all we need. That's all we need. The cost that you want to sell it at, the price you want to sell it at, and the cost of product. Hit calculate. There we go. So $10.18. So it's got the fees here. And we can read through these. I've listed them down already, but I'll go through these here. Selling on Amazon fees. To sell on the Amazon marketplace, you pay referral fees and closing fees. So the referral fee of Amazon is the cost of what it, it's basically the cost of the referral of Amazon. It's like you're on our marketplace, you've got our organic traffic, this is our referral fee, $1.40. Okay, cool. Now you need fulfillment fees to be calculated. Fulfillment by Amazon fees. There we go. So that's for them to pack it and ship it to your customer for you, $3.43. Again, you get these fees by the size and weight, usually, dimensions and whatnot of a product and the type of product it is. This is a beauty product. I didn't really explain the product, but a Derma Roller is just basically that something that women and men roll on their skin, usually their face, sometimes on other parts of their body as well, just to basically like creates micro sort of dermabrasions, I think it's called, sort of breakages on the skin, and it helps to release any sort of toxins in the skin and helps clear up your skin. That's usually what the basis of it is, but it's a beauty product. So this is what the fulfillment cost is of that. And then it just puts in a cent for the monthly storage cost per unit. So it's a cent per unit. So all up, it's basically, so it's $19.99. Take away, what do we got here? So $19.99 take, I've calculated it all here. So it's $19.99. Then we got to take away $1.40. Take away, so Amazon referral fee, take away $3.43 fulfillment cost, then take away the cost of the product. So you take all that together. $19.99, take $1.40, take $3.43, take $4.97. We've got $10.19 here. I think I've calculated that right. It says here $10.18. I think I forgot the monthly storage cost. So $10.18, and that's our total profit. So we'll just put here, I'll add this in as well. We've got monthly storage, and it's just 1 cent for monthly storage. So take away 0.01, and it was $10.18. There we go, per unit. Cool. So $10.18 profit per unit, and that is your complete profit. That is your total profit after all expenses. That's even tax and everything. We factored that all in, and that's all you need to do to basically get your roundabout profit. And this is a pretty accurate reading because we've got a product that's basically looks the same, and that's really all you need to do. Now, a couple of things before I end this video, things to consider that you need to factor into cost. So first of all, we'll do price changes first to stay competitive. So we want to aim to sell it at $19.99. Now, keep in mind that, and again, I would still try and go for products that have at least $10 profit or over. So in regards to this, we've got a 50% profit, which is good. That's great. Wouldn't go anywhere under 40%. Try and get to 60% if you can. That's even better. I know that there are some sellers that have products out there doing like 70% and over, which is crazy. I've never had that before, but it is doable. But anywhere from, say, 45 to 60% is a good range for profit. But try not to go below $10 in profit. That's just something that I go by because it gives you a lot of leeway when it comes to these other factors that I'm going to talk about. So competitive pricing. So we want to aim to sell this for $19.99. But again, one of the top sellers in this is selling it for $17.99. So when we first launch, when we're getting our reviews and getting our listing ready, getting nice photos done and whatnot, we may need to be competitive. So we may need to put ours at $15.99 or $14.99 for like the first week or two, maybe longer, maybe less, to try and build our sales momentum. So you might not be able to list it at $19.99 straight away. So that's going to factor in. That's going to factor into the amount of profit that you have at the start. So if you're selling 100 units, so we're going to put in here, so we've got 1 unit in here in the calculator. Let's just say we sell all 100. This is at $19.99. You've got net profit, that's your raw profit, $1,000.18 AUD, pure profit. But if we have to sell it at $14.99 for a little bit, that's going to go down. You got to factor that in as well. You got to factor in Amazon PPC. So to be competitive on Amazon, to really get use of the traffic, you need to advertise on Amazon, and you're more than likely going to have to advertise on Amazon for any product that you sell. Amazon PPC is basically like keyword. It's like if you've ever heard of Google AdWords, you were just bidding on keywords. So in our instance, we'd be bidding on Derma Roller or microneedle Derma Roller or cosmetic microneedling, skincare, all that kind of stuff. And you would be bidding, and let's just say you wanted to spend, I don't know, on the low side, $5 to $10 a day on Amazon PPC. If you spend that per day, you need to factor that in as well, and that also comes in, into play as well. We're not going to go too in depth as well into that, but that's things to consider. So there are other costs to consider, but if we're taking those out, price changes, if everything goes well, and we don't have to change price, more than likely not going to happen. But we have a product that, let's just say we sell at $19.99 the entire time, we never had to change it. This is what we're looking at, profit per unit. So this video is just talking about profit, how to calculate it. That's how I would do it. It's very, very simple, and how to do some very, very simple math. You don't need to be a mathematician or anything like that to do it. But again, this can be downloaded. This whole Word document can be downloaded for free. Just go to the link down below. It's going to be the first link there. And just go ahead and download that, and you'll be able to follow along with this video, do your own products. Just make sure if it's over $1,000, you need to add on that 10% GST, so it's going to be 15% all up that you need to factor in. And then after you've done the tax, you can get your cost per unit, and then again follow along if you get stuck. But very, very easy to do, and that's pretty much it on how I would calculate profit for any product that you're looking at. Especially for one that you're serious about. You need to factor in stuff like this, but try, golden rule, I'm going to write this in here, try, I'll put in capitals, try and stay above $10 profit per unit always. That's the golden rule. And that's it. That's it. So I hope this video helped you guys, and I hope it gave you some insight on how to calculate profit and things to look for in terms of costs. But they're just some of the basic things that you need to look for when selling on Amazon here in Australia. But anyway, download this. Like I said, you'll see it in the link down below. Give it a sub, give this channel a sub, and give the video a like if you did enjoy this, if it gave you some value. But I hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you guys very soon, and if you have any other video suggestions that you want from me, let me know. Just comment down below. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to help. Apart from that, stay safe, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.